Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Drusilla's Dream. I'm going to be reading one of my blog posts. I decided that I'm not just going to put the blogs up, in a written format, but I'm also going to record them. So I will be reading from the blog. So I'm writing this at 5:30 a.m. on a very blustery, cold January morning. The sun is not up yet, so I cannot see outside, but I can hear the howling of the wind and the banging of the tree branches against the window behind me. I just finished a wonderful meditation, and happily, the topic of the day emerged from the stillness. I always love when that happens. So today we're going to talk about clarity. So a good definition of clarity for our purposes here is the state or quality of being clear. That's pretty simple. So to begin, we're going to do a short visualization meditation. So if you're listening to this, you might want to close your eyes and take a few deep cleansing breaths. So as you breathe in, you bring up your spine, and then when you exhale, just settle in and feel your body sitting and just try to relax. So imagine you're on vacation. You rented a small cabin in the mountains on a beautiful lake dotted with lily pads and surrounded by giant trees, fully dressed in their summer greenery. So far, you've only seen pictures of this place, so you're really anxious and excited to be able to see this magical place in person. In the morning, you walk out onto the deck that overlooks the lake. It's early in the morning, and you notice that there's a very dense fog all around you. It hangs thick and soupy over the lake, so you cannot see anything. You know the lake is close because you can hear the water lapping on the shore, and a boat bumping against the dock as a slight breeze shifts it to and fro. You squint your eyes trying to bring the scene into focus, but the fog is just too thick. You suddenly become uncomfortable with the obscurity and murkiness all around you. What if there are bears out here, you ask yourself? I would never see them. There could be snakes right down around my feet, too. You start becoming agitated and fear starts rising. Then you have a moment of rationality and decide you are perfectly safe here. And eventually you will be able to see. So you might as well enjoy the moment. You grab a warm blanket and settle into an Adirondack chair that's on the deck. You close your eyes and listen more closely to the sounds all around you. The water lapping lulls you into a deep peacefulness. You can hear birds singing all around you. Your nostrils flare as you fill your lungs with the fresh mountain air. You're completely caught up in the moment and find yourself drifting in a glorious space, somewhere between sleep and awake, where thoughts have ceased and your mind is free. After some time, you open your eyes. The sun is now higher on the horizon, and it has burned away the fog. You can finally see everything clearly, the vivid colors of the water, the trees, the boats along the shore, and the majestic mountains off in the distance. Okay, you may now open your eyes if you had closed them. So, in our daily lives, don't we sometimes feel as if we're walking around in a fog? We just can't see things clearly and are not sure what direction our lives should take, especially when we have difficult decisions to make, like, should I leave my job and start my own business? Or is this relationship right for me, or is it not? Should I tell so-and-so how I feel about what they did that hurt me, or should I just leave it alone? We obviously cannot see the outcome of these things clearly, so we start ruminating and making up stories in our heads about what might happen. If I leave my job and start my own business, the whole venture might fail, and if that happens, I will have no income, and I might lose my home, and my life would be a mess then. And if I leave my relationship, I may never find anyone else. But if I stay, I might spend years unhappy and regretting it, and then it would be too late to find someone else. I know I'll be alone forever. If I tell so-and-so how I feel, they might get angry and end the relationship, and I'll never have any lasting friendships. So eventually you get yourself so confused by all the random, nonsensical thoughts that you cannot see anything clearly. You're in an emotional and mental fog. I'm sure we can all relate to that state of being. So who exactly is in your head, endlessly chattering and driving you crazy sometimes? It certainly cannot be your wise, enlightened, peaceful soul. No, it's not. It's the frightened ego part of us that always operates from a place of fear. It avoids the present moment at all costs because the present moment is the magical space where we can access wisdom and inspiration that we can use to make rational and sensible decisions and choices. If we're busy lamenting over or regretting the past or worrying about the future, we're feeding the ego and keeping it healthy and voracious. If we stay mindful and present, we find the clarity and the wisdom we're seeking, and the ego kind of goes to sleep like a hibernating bear during the winter months. Ego-driven fear is like an impenetrable vice. Once it tightens firmly around our thoughts, the more the monkey mind just jumps from one chaotic thought to another, and then the less clarity that we have. So what's the answer? It's really pretty simple. We just need to still our thoughts just for a moment. Just clear our head. Come back from the scary cavern of the monkey mind and into the clear mountain air of the present moment. Now, there are lots of ways that you can do this. One, of course, is meditation, perhaps like the one that we did earlier. That is a visualization meditation. But there's really no wrong way or right way to meditate. We just need to enter the silence, the stillness, the gap between our thoughts, where divine inspiration and insights have a clear pathway to our heart and our mind. We can also go for a long mindful walk or a run, paying attention to all the sights and sounds around us so that we do not find ourselves caught back up in the web of our confused and arbitrary thoughts. And I know that happens to me quite a lot when I go on a walk. I start out trying to be mindful, and I'm watching all the animals and hearing the sounds, and then all of a sudden my monkey mind jumps back in there, and I have to check it and go back to being mindful and present. So we can also, another way to do this, we can also grab our paintbrush and work on the painting that's been waiting for us to put the finishing touches on the canvas. We can pick up our dusty guitar and strum our fingers along the strings and get completely lost in the melodies. Anything that takes us away from the fear and the mindless thinking can open the doorway to a state of true clarity of thought and real inner peace. So I hope you enjoyed this little journey into clarity and what it means for us. I would love if you would comment, if you feel motivated to, share your thoughts or share a little bit about your story, anything that you'd like to share. I'd love to get to know all of you a little bit better, and I'd love for you to get to know me better too. So I hope everybody has an absolutely wonderful day. Namaste.